Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and I update daily. If you like this watch, you can see it and purchase it on thewatchbox.com. Buy, trade, and sell luxury watches on thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a rare one-hand German-inspired timepiece powered by a pocket watch movement and sized to suit modern tastes. All of that combined adds up to the Meistersinger N.2, a stainless steel 43mm one-hand 12-hour watch that is German-inspired and Swiss-made. So on my wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that the product of the watch brand based out of Münster is large, relatively flat in profile at only 12.5 millimeters thick, and broad as it spans 50.2 millimeters from lug to lug. The spacing of the lugs is a generous 22 millimeters, and you'll find there are many standard size straps. The crystal on this watch is dramatically domed such that when you move it off axis, it has almost a cartoonish level of refractory distortion. So it has a little bit of the endearing off-axis charm of a vintage plexiglass, and that's by design. It's an easy watch to wear on a smaller wrist. I would say you could probably wear this watch on a wrist as small as about 14.5 centimeters in circumference. It's broad and it's flat and it's simple. It's a study in minimalism. There is some distinction along the case band between polished elements like the hoods of the lugs and the satin finish of the flanks, the domed and polished bezel, and the space between the lugs, which is vertically satin grained, just in case you fit a strap that happens to come in contact. That's a good pattern between the lugs for hiding strap contact evidence. The strap itself, though, as fitted from the factory, has plenty of clearance, and you can pull it straight down, so it'll fit a small wrist better. It uses medium rectangular scale alligator leather with a semi-gloss finish, a little bit of bolstering to add volume and body, and then a monotone stitch with folded edges. On the underside, it is calfskin for souplesse against the skin. It is a very soft strap, though a new factory strap. It has a broken-in feel to it. You can see this is actually a Meistersinger branded logo. You can note their corporate crescent present on the polished top of the buckle, which features nicely curved and polished flanks. Moving around, you can see that the same crescent is present on the crown. It is a branded crown, though it appears to be minimalist. It is nevertheless not a generic part. There's a very subtle joint between the lugs and the case band, so it's not a completely smooth blended lug profile like what you'll find on a Patek Calatrava or an IWC Portuguese. This watch is all about small details like that, and it's rife with them. If you're into sweating the details, Meistersinger is for you. You'll also note how the lugs are attached just slightly below the plane of the bezel. Now, if you move to the case profile, you'll note that basically the case, the lugs, the bezel, they've all been minimized to maximize the dial. So in profile, the watch is effectively all dial. Let's give ourselves a bit more light so we can better appreciate this dial, which is a matte silver, and it's what Patek would call opaline. So it has a pebbly textured base that has a soft glow and light. It's not a sunburst, it's a metallic matte. Everything is very clearly printed. Contrast is superb, and you'll note that the hand, which is oversized and blued, is a giant needle-style index. The crown, which is oversized and an absolute pleasure to wind, is also a pleasure to set. Now, this is a simple watch. You have 12 hours in a AM-PM cycle, and thus you have 12 hours every time this watch makes a circuit of its dial. Now, there have been more dramatic departures from the norm with 24-hour dials from Meistersinger, but for most this will be quirky enough. The timepiece, effectively what some would call a slow watch, is designed to strip horology down to the bare minimum, and that's in evidence on the case back too, where a pocket watch style caliber, the Unitas 6498-1, is employed in all of its oversized manual winding glory. I mentioned that the watch is a pleasure to wind. That's because this is a very mechanical feeling movement to wind and to set. A giant click with a very distinct spring action. It also has an oversized balance that's almost 1/3 the diameter of the movement. The movement, by the way, over 36 millimeters in diameter, is bigger than a standard Rolex Datejust. 17 joules, 46-hour power reserve. Beats away at 2.5 hertz or 18,000 vibrations per hour. Water resistant to 3 ATM. This is not an aquatic watch, but it is a fascinating watch. It's one of those timepieces you can bring to almost any circumstance, from Baselworld to Red Bar, and be sure you will have the only one. It's a conversation piece, and the conversation that people start rarely begins with how much does it cost or is it real? All of the unpleasant baggage of better-known brands and commonly styled watches evaporate with the Meistersinger line. It's the kind of thing people notice because it's fun and ask about because they have a genuine interest in owning one. Offbeat horology, but luxury horology all the same. German-inspired and Swiss-made. This is the Meistersinger #2.